Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're diving into something that is literally going to change how you look at your entire daily schedule, how to save time while maximizing your health. I mean, for years, we've all carried around this heavy guilt about skipping those long, exhausting gym sessions, right? Just kind of staring at our dusty running shoes in shame. But what if science is actually dismantling that guilt entirely? Well, let's get into it.
Right off the bat, I just got to ask you a super simple question. Do you have 5 minutes? Just 5. Look, traditional 30 to 60-minute workouts can feel completely overwhelming. Between the commute, work, family, finding a solid hour feels like a luxury most of us just don't have. But redefining how much time it actually takes to be healthy, it's incredibly liberating.
4.4. That right there is the magic number. Research from top gerontology and sports science journals reveals that engaging in short bursts of vigorous physical activity, averaging just 4.4 minutes daily, is scientifically linked to lower risks of all-cause mortality, cancer, and cardiovascular mortality. I mean, think about that. Just under 5 minutes a day can literally alter your life's trajectory. Crazy, right?
Section 1, Rethinking the Daily Workout. Busting the all-or-nothing exercise myth. So, you've probably heard the World Health Organization guidelines, right? The whole 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous weekly exercise thing. For a lot of us, that target is just daunting. But hey, let's relieve that guilt right now. Falling short of 150 minutes does not mean you've failed. The latest consensus from behavioral medicine shows that the benefits actually kick in at much, much lower levels of effort. The new paradigm is simple. A little movement is vastly better than none at all.
Section 2. The Power of Micro-Workouts. Small bursts for massive impact.
Okay, so what exactly are we talking about here? Here's our working definition of a micro-workout. They are brief, short bursts of physical activity, often high intensity, lasting anywhere from just 1 to 10 minutes. And look, if you've ever done a 1-minute burst of continuous burpees, you know exactly how long 60 seconds can feel. But that single minute of intense effort can trigger profound cardiovascular and insulin resistance benefits. You don't need a fancy gym. You just need a few moments of deliberate effort. And get this, when we compare one continuous 30-minute walk against 3 broken-up 10-minute walks scattered throughout the day, the data might actually surprise you. Research highlighted by the Society of Behavioral Medicine shows that high blood pressure is controlled even more effectively with the 3 10-minute walks rather than that single 30-minute session. Breaking it up really works. Talk about incredible efficiency. A massive epidemiological study found that a simple 5-minute run generates the exact same mortality reduction benefits as a 15-minute walk. The intensity of the micro-workout totally compensates for the lack of duration. You can achieve phenomenal physiological dividends in a fraction of the time, as long as you're willing to push the intensity just a little bit.
Section 3. Decoding the health benefits. The biology of short activity bursts.
All right, let's rapid fire through some fascinating microfacts. Short bursts of exercise essentially scrub clean our cellular powerhouses, the mitochondria. They reduce insulin resistance, which means your body manages blood glucose way better. They improve endothelial function, that's the health of your blood vessels, and perhaps most impressively, a single short session causes an acute blood pressure drop that lasts for a full 12 to 16 hours. And I absolutely have to emphasize this striking statistic. According to the data, participating in just a 10-minute workout 3 times a week can increase your endurance by nearly 20%. 30 minutes a week for a 20% gain in endurance. That is a massive, massive return on investment for your physical health. So a really big driver of that endurance is VO2 max. That's the maximum amount of oxygen your body can use during intense effort. Now, why does this matter to us? Well, your VO2 max naturally drops about 10% every decade after you hit 30. Building a high VO2 max through high-intensity microbursts is absolutely essential for protecting your heart and lungs long-term. It is a major predictor of how long and how well you're going to live. Because the stakes of aging are incredibly high. If your fitness dips below the threshold for dependence, everyday tasks suddenly become impossible without help. It's a scary thought. But preserving our muscle strength through quick, regular resistance workouts keeps our physical trajectory well above that critical disability threshold. And when mapping the efficacy of exercise against pharmaceutical drugs for chronic disease management, the clinical data is just fascinating. For many conditions, things like cognitive dysfunction, hypertension, and systemic inflammation, exercise interventions, including those short, frequent bouts, are universally beneficial. They even rival some traditional pharmaceutical treatments. It really underscores exercise as a powerful foundational medicine.
Section 4. Designing your micro-routine, an actionable blueprint for busy lives.
So, how do we actually do this? We can follow this actionable blueprint from the Society of Behavioral Medicine. Step 1. Identify specific goals. Don't just say, I want to move more. Say, I'm going to jog in place for 2 minutes right before I eat lunch. Step 2 is identifying your personal barriers. And step 3 is maintaining those new habits. Keeping things specific like that creates significantly better long-term success.
Let's dig into step 2 for a second. Overcoming roadblocks. The most common barriers are physical pain or a perceived lack of time. If you have pain, address it by starting incredibly slow and modifying your movements. And if you lack time, remind yourself we are only talking about minutes here. Simply setting an alarm on your smartwatch to stand, stretch, and move for 60 seconds every hour is the absolute perfect way to build an essential, manageable habit.
Here are some concrete examples of what you can do right now. You could try squatting at your desk for 40 seconds, taking 20 seconds of rest, and then repeating that a few times. Or, if you really want to push that VO2 max we talked about earlier, try a demanding 4x4 high-intensity interval protocol. That's 4 minutes of very hard effort followed by 3 minutes of rest, repeated 4 times. You can completely scale the micro-workout to your exact fitness level.
I want to end this explainer with an empowering thought. Do not let perfection be the enemy of the good. When it comes to your longevity and vitality, a little bit of movement today is always vastly superior to none at all. So take a look at your schedule right now. What 5-minute pocket of time are you going to claim back for your health today? Get out there and grab that micro workout.